Good morning, YouTube. Been a while since we've had a sponsor come to the channel to send me something to review for you guys. Get lots of them coming to me, but they don't seem to reply. These guys did. All right, so we got a Phenyx Pro wireless handheld microphone system. All right. Now, we're going to take a good look at this thing. We're going to try it out. We're going to see what it's like, see how the audio quality gets reproduced, and we'll give you our opinion on this. So let's do this the fast way. All right. So links will be in the description below, by the way, if you're interested in this. So we've got a couple of windsocks, okay? In here, these are anti-roll collars. So you pop them on and you can set the mic up on the table or whatever, and they're not going to roll around on you. That's a nice idea. Like that, okay? We do have an audio cable that goes from 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch. We're going to check into that. We've got our power supply, owner's manual, tells us all the basics. We're dual UHF. UHF is actually, in my opinion, one of the best systems you can be on. It's very clean, not really used anymore for a lot of things that it used to be used for. Things get switched over to things like 2.45 gigahertz Bluetooth stuff, right? And those frequencies are getting rather jammed nowadays too. You're gonna have to come up with a new frequency soon. Anyways, so there's our manual. We've got a couple of antennas here we're gonna have to install. So we'll get into these. There's one. I like the nice carry case too, so you can take it portable. So if you're, if we do find out the audio is good enough on this, then I would then suggest that one of the possibilities, take it to your gig. Use these in churches too. Our church actually has a system similar to this. Not by the same company, mind you, but we do have wireless mics. And they come in really handy during our prayer request time during service. You know, people want, tell us to, people to pray for, etc. We can hear them through the sound system. Churches can get big in size and people can't hear. So these are kind of handy. We also use this sort of thing for other events in our church as well. So again, handy for that purpose too. And let's get into these. But definitely for speech, doing speech stuff. We'll have to see what it's like for doing singing too. Wouldn't be expecting top-notch results, but you never know. Okay. We do have some batteries that are included. These are for the mics. Now, I'm pretty familiar with this sort of system as far as this goes. Now, for this video, we're likely only going to hook up just the one mic because that's all we're going to need anyways, but I will be testing both either way. So we look at the direction of the batteries, and it looks like we go down this way. And voila. Now, you can leave batteries in these things, by the way. I can tell you that right now. As long as you turn the power off, batteries will stay fine. You're good to go, okay? So let's put that one just there for a minute. And we'll put this one over here, put the batteries down in there. And get rid of the garbage. And there's our main box unit. Pretty simple and basic up front. And our 1/4 inch, that's mix out. So this would allow us to go directly into the back of a PC, a Windows PC, or whether it be a desktop, or you can go into the laptop if you've got a mic jack, right, or a line-in source. You'd be able to do that, or you can use XLR, A and B. Now, A and B, for sure I can tell you A and B, when you're using the XLRs on these things, you do need to plug this into either a USB interface for each one in order to use each mic, or you use separate channels on a mixing board. Okay, now at our church, of course, we have a huge mixing console and we have 2 channels, one for each mic, which also helps us if you are going to try singing with these things, and they do work well. You can change the EQing on each singer. Okay, same as each person talking, you need to EQ their voice regardless, and you do that independently, which is great. It's nice to have that, you know, access to just doing one person at a time kind of thing. So this we're gonna pop in, and you just pop and twist, and these things should go like this, and voila, pretty easy peasy, and that's what we look like so far. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here for a quick second, but I mean, we're coming right back. Don't worry, don't go away. I'm going to get this thing hooked up, and actually, I'm going to hook it into the PC with this included cable. Now, here's another neat little thing too, is this is quarter to quarter, or we have this. I'm kind of curious if both mics would actually go through there somehow, because it is one mix out, so it might do both for us. Mix out, it should do both. Let's take a quick look at the manual. Okay, mix out. Connect the audio cable from this jack to the input of amplifier, mixer, or other PA system. Balance XLR output, channel 1, and of course XLR output for channel 2. We're going to hook up both mics. I'm curious now. See if it says anything else about the mix out on these things. You can also get backpacks too, if you want to have like a wireless headset. Rated power 4 watts, 8 hours of battery life for the transmitters, which in this case is going to be the mics. And it doesn't really get much more into that. So, you know what? We're going to put the batteries in the other mic too. I'm kind of curious. I have an XLR connector hooked up, although given the connection point on there and mine, it is not going to work for us. Now, I do have regular XLR cables around, but for that I would have to borrow my wife's USB interface because I don't have one right now myself. So, let's get the batteries installed in this one too. Power on. Gives us our battery level as well as our frequency. Push and hold. Turns off again. And this one here will power it up. Channel 10. 567.0. This one was channel 8. 544.7. All right. So, oh yes, the rings. We have these rings here we can mount to. Trying to figure out which. I would think this would be the right way. This should go past here, right up to there. And this way you can hold it in your hand like this. And we've also got our black one. Okay. Make sure that's snug. That's snug. Bring that right to the edge. Perfect. All right. We'll get this set up and we'll change the camera angle around. Alright guys, we've been doing some messing around with this system. Got her hooked into the PC. And I'm using Audacity. Alright, now, when you unscrew this, of course, you got your batteries here, right? On this side, this is where you're going to change your volume output of the mic. Default from factory, full blast, which I would just leave it there, to be honest. Okay, we'll get to that. Set button with volume up and down will change your channel frequencies, and you got about 30 of them to go through. So anyway, with that being said, if you are hooking this into a PC with the included cable, because maybe you don't have a USB interface or a mixing console that has USB, so you're gonna, if you did have that, you could go one side, okay? Now, and then you get a lot more control over each person, all right? Now, either mic, doesn't matter, they'll put the signal through, all right? If and only if you have your audio set up in your settings listed as one mono. If you go to stereo, you will only get one side, not both. I don't know why the difference, okay? I haven't messed with Audacity in years. I'm normally a Mac person, and I would have a Mac for this, but, well, I'm kind of turning over a different leaf these days, okay? And we'll talk about that in another video. However, we're going to leave it at default sampling rates, but we can change the sampling rates right up to whatever we want within the list, of course. Sample format, 32-bit floats, pretty standard, 24, 16-bit. Leave it at 32. What the heck? It's better that way anyways. Anyway, so we're going to get out of there. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a sample recording for you guys. So just click touch to turn it on. It's automatically unmuted, but if you click the button quick, it mutes it and then unmutes. And your battery level is always here on your mics, when your batteries are getting time to change. Now, the other thing I want to point out are these control knobs. These are your gain outputs. That means that when you turn them up higher, you get more coming through the cable as an input into your system. When you turn them down lower, you're going to get far less. So no matter where this is set, those things are going to control how much of that signal gets in to the system. So if you want to maximize your abilities, also without distorting, I did do some messing around, and if you crank these knobs full blast, it actually puts too much gain stage into the mic jack on the system. And besides which, if you are using a mixing board, you'll probably want to run those at probably around the halfway mark, so 12 o'clock, and then use your gain stage on your mixing board to compensate the rest so that you have the cleanest possible audio. Now, as far as going this way though, at 3 o'clock on the dials, superbly clean audio, works very, very well. Now, I didn't put the socks on here. They are pop filters. They stop the plosions, right? Or reduce the plosions is about what they really do. They reduce it. All right, so let's do this something here for you, and I'm gonna go a cappella, and no, it will not be Amazing Grace. My pipes aren't that good. Well, I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, you can see the distance of the mic. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. All right, so that's that microphone, and we'll play back. Well, I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, you can see the distance of the mic. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. So we can also see our levels too, which are really good. Nothing's redlining, okay, which is also really good. So let's start a new audio file, and we'll get rid of this one here. And we'll turn this mic on, which is the other one with the black ring. Kind of separates left from right. Check, check, check. This is left. Black is left. Black is left. Well, I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, and we reduced it all. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a full blast now, and I'm going crazy. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. Now, you saw me messing around, so you're going to hear the audio difference, okay?
I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a crazy old man, and we've reduced it all. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am. I'm a fro blast now, and I'm going crazy. I'm a crazy old man, don't know who I am.
Okay. Case closed. It works awesome. Okay, works really good. Very happy with that. Now, I still wouldn't recommend going full blast because if you are singing into these, which you can, and they will do well, we have mics like this at our church. We generally use them for prayer time so that we can hear people through the audio system for their prayer requests and stuff. So, hey, church use is actually listed in here, by the way, and public speaking, etc. You can sing through these things and get really decent audio. And we've done it at church. There's actually a group that they started coming last year, and they're coming again this year. And they're a major group. And we mic up basically 2 of their people for solos. And the quality reproduction is very, very good. Now, keep in mind, we're going through our mixing console at our church. We've got very powerful 1200 watt per side speakers, the whole 9. But we really don't do a lot of EQing on the vocals, but some, okay? This is going in straight raw. This is no EQing, no effects yet, none of that. Okay? Now, if you want independent control of different tracks, doing this at the same time, you're going to need a mixing board. You're going to have to use the XLR outs, and you're going to have to, either have a USB type interface mixer go into your computer system, or you go and you just get a regular general run-of-the-mill mixer, which pretty much everything is preamped nowadays, so there's no built-in amplifiers. It's very rare to find those now. And then you go into your USB interface through the speaker outs of your mixer, and then your USB interface to your computer, and you have full control over everything and then some. You can have 2 people go on at the same time, EQ their voices independently. The way this is set up, yes, you can have both people at once, but you have only, well, actually you don't have any real EQ control, because whatever you do to the track, it's going to control both people. And when people sing, even when they talk, their voices need to be EQ'd independently, because every person's voice is different. Okay? So if you want the full out control, full out total capabilities, you really should be hooking this thing into a mixing console. But if you're just doing, stuff like this and, some private stuff, and you're going to just, not EQ it, or you are going to EQ it, just keep in mind, whatever you do, it affects both mics, okay? So that's the thing. Yeah, I'd go for a mixing console and have full independent control over each mic. I wouldn't mind picking up a small mixer, or getting one, to hook this into, that has a USB output at least. And then this way I could have one to mic up my guitar, because my guitar doesn't plug in. And then one for my vocals, and then we could even have some more fun on the channel with this unit as well, and really max out what it can really, really do in the end, because I think some people might be interested in furthering to see what the capabilities are. So, Phenyx, if you guys got a small mixer, would you mind sending me one? Because, yeah, that would be a really great thing. Check out your mixers, but at the same time, we could see how much more potential we could get out of this system. But I do thank Phenyx for sending me this. This is a great little unit. I have been out of the music scene for quite a while now, other than playing at church, and this is kind of inspiring me to kind of get back into it a bit. Maybe we can upload some more music videos for you guys in future and whatnot. So, kind of an encouragement, so I like that. Anyways, thanks again, Phenyx, for sending me this. Thank you guys for sticking around and checking out this video. I do have to work on a YouTube short for the company that they have also asked me to do. But yeah, this is our main. Now, as far as you guys want your star ratings, obviously. Now, this is not a very expensive setup. And they do have the 52B, which would have one mic and one headset. And I love headsets. Okay, they're great. They're out of your way, etc., right? the price is not going to break the bank on these, and they do seem to be reproducing some very good quality audio, which is very important to have quality audio. So even though it's not a professional line system, it's definitely giving some amazing results. So I'm going to put this thing at a really nice 4.25 out of 5. I think that's more than fair. Okay, they are simplistic units, and any unit, even in the more pro level stuff, really isn't complicated. They're very simplistic. Our system at church probably costed about 5 times what this did. I don't know. Maybe it was 3 times. Really, honestly, I don't know. I know it's a very high quality system, and this thing seems to be very comparable. Okay, I've run the sound system at the church for a long time before I became a worship team member, playing guitar up there. And my wife now runs it, and we also have 2 other people that run relief as well. And you know, our mic system, this is very comparable at far less cost, right? And besides, you're setting that box up, and you're just leaving it set up, right? These things, change the batteries as you need to. You know, they're just AA batteries. If you're gonna stick with alkalines, I would definitely recommend only Energizers or Duracells. They give the longest running time, best performance, and proper amperage to the mics, because the cheap batteries, especially dollar store stuff, it ain't gonna run for very long. We've tried that stunt before in the past, and yeah, they're garbage. So use decent batteries, and the batteries that come with these seem to be pretty decent too. So I don't see any problems with that, and they're not even. I don't even think they're called XLs. I don't know. Maybe you can find XLs on Amazon, but these things seem to be doing all right. But it is very important to have quality batteries in your audio equipment for best results and longest running times too. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. We got our 4.25 bonus. I don't see any major drawbacks to the system myself. I mean, maybe if they would have included a set of XLR cables to get you hooked up right away if you had an interface, because most people do nowadays, or they have a mixer on their system somehow. Yeah, definitely. If you're buying this system for your club or your church, you're definitely going to be plugging into a mixer. You're already going to have that anyway. It is kind of nice if they would include those cables, but I do appreciate the cable they did include. Even though it is a mono cable, we are still able to use both mics. We can use them at the same time. Just remember, you cannot alter the EQing if you have 2 people at the same time on these mics. If you're doing like a little podcast or whatever, it's going to be what it is. So don't try and EQ, because you'll disasterize for sure the one person, and the other person might be okay, but you'd be best to just put it in as raw audio and leave it that way. You know what I mean? But otherwise, yeah, mixing board can solve all those problems for you. And this is just Audacity. It's nothing major for a program. It's free, but there is a lot of audio programs out there. But this is also set to mono, by the way, to get both sides. If it's set on stereo, you only get one side, because that's just the way it happens to work. And I think if it was on stereo with a TRS mix cable, that might give us both sides. I have to figure that out. And if I do figure something out, I'll let you guys know. But in the meantime, it is working just fine the way it is anyways. So, and it's the way these things normally are into a mixer. They're always mono in selections, and you do your stereo mixing and all that later, so to do whatever. Anyhow, thanks so much, and thanks again, Phenyx. See ya.